Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Retro Gaming Corner. Today I'm going to go quickly through my Colecovision collection. I'm trying to go through my collections here in this series. I've done other collections in the past, television, Atari 2600, etc. So this is my Colecovision collection. What you're looking at here is the expansion module 2, which is used for Turbo, the game Turbo. Awesome, fun game to play with this. Highly recommend it with Turbo. That's expansion module 2. I believe expansion module 1 is the Atari 2600 adapter. And expansion module 3 is the roller controller, which I have over here in the box. Let me move around. If you can see it right up there on top. There is the Colecovision roller controller, complete in box. And that I used to play with Slither and everything. So, let's just get started on my games that I have. Let me slide this over here. So, okay. So let's get started. First off, I have just several box games. First off is Lode Runner, which originally was by Broderbund. This is a homebrew by Colecovision. And I highly recommend you going on their website, ordering some of their games. They are top-notch. It's great to see the homebrew community alive and well. This is Lode Runner by Colecovision. Check an earlier video of mine. In the last year, I did a review of this. Again, that's Lode Runner, complete in box with manual. Very professionally done. Played on the Colecovision. Next up is Jumpman Jr. By Epix. This is complete in box. A great game. I played this a lot on the Commodore 64. Jumpman and Jumpman Jr. Great games and graphics and whatever. Next up is a complete version of Carnival by Sega. As you can see. That's complete in box, and that's basically it for my box games. I don't have a lot. Trying to acquire boxed games for all of my unboxed games for the Colecovision, like I'm doing on my Atari 2600. But anyways, let's get rolling along here on the unboxed games. First off, War Games, Epix, Gateway to Apshai, which you guys probably remember from the Commodore 64 version. Kind of a dungeon crawler. Used to love that back in the day. Ladybug, a great Pac-Man type clone, but much more. Bonus rounds and collecting letters for bonuses. Love the music and gameplay in that. The little turnstiles that flip in the maze. Great game. Venture. What do I say about that? It's, overhead maze view game, kind of with an arrow, bow and arrow, shooting things. Great game, great graphics, and the music I love. Mousetrap, Exidy, kind of another maze type game where you're a dog chasing cats and stuff like that. BC Quest for Tires, great game by Sahara Online. Kind of a blue flashy label. You can barely see it, but there it is. Cartoon-like graphics, side-scroller on, I don't know if you guys remember the cartoon. And that's basically it. Frogger 2, sequel to Frogger. Kind of a bizarre type of game. 3 Deep for the Colecovision. Next up is Ken Houston's Blackjack Poker. Space Panic by Universal. I remember playing that on an Apple II as a little kid. Next up is Defender. Not much to say about that. Pretty good port for the Colecovision by Atari Soft. Next up, Colecovision Centipede. Another nice port. Victory by Exidy. Not a lot to say on that. 2010, the graphic action game. Illusions. No idea about this game. Still trying to figure it out. A game that requires some instructions. Next up is Cosmic Avenger. Love this game in the day. Kind of a side-scrolling scramble type game where you shoot missiles and drop bombs and stuff. I like that game. There we go. Next up, Moonsweeper by Magic for the ColecoVision. This was on an Atari 2600 and I believe the Intellivision and other numerous systems. That's by Magic. Another game by Magic is Wing War. Not a favorite game of mine. Interface, a very fun game called Squish 'em featuring Sam. With a little nifty handle there. Kind of a climbing, you climb up things and you have to squish things and, well, you get the picture. Next up, a pleasantly surprising, fun game to play, which you may think is juvenile, Cabbage Patch Kids, Adventures in the Park. Side-scrolling climbing game. Actually, it's a lot of fun. Give it a try. Next up for the trackball, which I showed you earlier, is Slither. A bizarre game with like snakes that come down the screen. Reminds you a little bit of Centipede, but a lot more to do for it. Again, that is exclusively for the Coleco trackball. Okay, Frogger. A great version, probably one of my favorites on all the systems for the ColecoVision. The best one to date is the Atari 2600 Starpath Arcadia one on cassette. They say that one is the best version, and I have to agree. Unattainable by me, very expensive. I think you're going for $100 to $200 now if you can get a copy. But that's Frogger. That's a great version. Next up is a duplicate copy, Venture. Space Fury, classic. The Official Congo Bongo by Sega. Awesome version of that. I used to like playing that in the arcade. What can I say? Every ColecoVision owner requires a copy of Donkey Kong. You can get these for a couple dollars. Very common. This came packed in with my ColecoVision when I was a little kid in the day. Me and my dad were blown away by that game and by Zaxxon. Nice port of this. I did purchase the Super Game module a few weeks back for the next batch that they're making. So I'm very excited to get that and buy some homebrew games for it. The Super Game module, as you know, plugs into the front of the ColecoVision, which they never came out for. They promised that they would release it, but a homebrew company released it, and it's out and in several batches, and games are coming out for it that expand the memory, and the sound on it is much improved on the existing games. Very excited. Can't wait to get that. But this is Zaxxon. Great port. Shout outs to Intellivision dude, Mr. Burger King. Burger Time, excuse me. This is Burger Time for the Intellivision. A great port of it. I love that. I have a lot of fun playing that. Smurf, Rescue in Gargamel's Castle. Really cool cartoon-like graphic climbing game. Not too juvenile. Hey, who doesn't like a Smurf? Duplicate copy of Space Fury. Next up is The Heist by Microfun. This was out for their computers and various other systems. Kind of like a side-scrolling climbing game where you steal paintings and stuff. Not bad. That's by Microfun. I believe they're the folks that make Miner 2049er. Next up is Parker Brothers for ColecoVision game, Qbert. Great port of that. A lot of fun. Good music. Next up is Mr. Dew's Castle. Where the Coleco. Next up is Tutankhamun by Parker Brothers. Kind of, if you're unfamiliar with Tutankhamun, it's kind of, you're like this archaeologist in a maze, and you can only shoot left and right, and it's kind of a strategy action type game. It's really good. Really good port. I like that. Looping. Kind of a airplane flying game, side-scrolling, making your plane do these loops and doing various things. Next up is Donkey Kong Jr. Great port. Love playing that game. Let's see. Next up is Turbo, which again is used with the steering controller, module number 2. So much fun to play it on that. Classic. Next up is the sequel to BC Quest for Tires. BC Quest for Tires 2, Grog's Revenge. Not as good as the first one in my opinion, but not too bad. Next up is Bump and Jump, which was out for the 2600 and television, blah, blah, blah. Kind of an overhead in your car, jumping and stuff, swerving, blah, blah, blah. Gorf, great shooter. Time Pilot, still love that in the arcades. Next up is Frenzy, the unofficial sequel by Stern of Berserk. Excellent, excellent version. I love this. Love playing that. I just played that a few days ago. Rock and Rope with a nasty label. Kind of a climbing up vertically, shooting your rope to slide up to various platforms. Pretty good game. Pretty good port. Next up is, let's see here. Root Beer Tapper. I used to love Tapper in the arcade games. This is a really good version. Root Beer Tapper for the Colecovision. Again, they originally came out with Beer Tapper, and they changed it, public outcry, I guess. And of course, for the home port, they changed it to Root Beer. A Parker Brothers copy of Popeye. Really good. And let's see what else. Mr. Do by Universal. Not to be confused with Mr. Do's Castle, which was the other one I had. A duplicate copy of Time Pilot. A game called Arctic Adventure. Very fun, interesting game where kind of first-person view of a little penguin sliding down the ice, collecting things. And let's see what else. Frontline by Tato. Kind of a commando type game. It's a lot of fun. Pepper 2, a very strange game where you go around the screen and you have to fill in these areas on the screen with a little pitchfork. Very bizarre game, but a lot of fun. I love this game. Pepper 2. And I believe the rest of them are duplicates. Yes, I have 2 duplicates of Zaxxon. I have a duplicate of Carnival and Donkey Kong. I have a duplicate of Slither, Looping. So I have several duplicates because at the time they were bought in a group. So, but again, that's my ColecoVision collection. My Super Game module is on its way in the next month or two. Can't wait to see that and review that. and buy some homebrew games for it. So again, there you have it. That is my ColecoVision and my 3 whopping games. And again, way up there is my ColecoVision, way up at the top there, in front of my old Star Wars characters. And I have 2 ColecoVision. I have another one in the closet over there. But again, and there is, in the back, is my ColecoVision roller controller, which is a lot of fun. So there you have it, folks. Hope you enjoyed my ColecoVision collection. And until next week, vote, comment, and subscribe. And thanks for watching.